Hello and welcome our dear viewers to a new edition of Windows. I am Basma Taha. The state has launched several presidential initiatives that aim at improving the lives of citizens. Haya Karima, or Decent Life initiative, aims at improving the lives of citizens, especially the most needy ones, in the different fields of life. Also, the state is exerting huge efforts for the sake of sustainable development and flourishing future. To shed more light on this issue, I'm honored to have here in the studio Dr. Moataz Zeid, Professor of Law. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us on Windows on RTV International.
Good evening, Ms. Basma. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you so much for coming today. Indeed, the UN has hailed Haya Karima, or Decent Life initiative, saying that it is one of the most significant initiatives in the entire world, and this initiative, as we know, aims at improving the lives of citizens. I would like, Doctor, to know more from you about this initiative and also the main objectives of Haya Karima initiative.
Yes. Firstly, thank you for this introduction. Of course, Haya Karima, or Decent Life initiative, is a very promising project held by the Egyptian government. Firstly, we must have a look for the history of this initiative. Since the issuing of the Egyptian constitution in 2014, especially in the Article 27, which maintained for the first time the expression of decent life, or Haya Karima, in the articles of the constitution. Specifically in the article of the economic pillars of the Egyptian country. Of course, this article had a great reflection for the efforts of the government, as you said. So it's not an initiative just for enhancing the life of the Egyptian people, but of course it presenting the state of law, or how to perform the articles or the principles of the constitution. On the second step, it was declared by Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in 2019 the beginning of this initiative as a great collaboration and cooperation between the government and the private sector and the civil society. And of course, this reflects how it's a very huge project for the Egyptian government. And the third step was the constructing of the Haya Karima institution.
Dr. Moataz, I'm sorry for interruption. We will resume our discussion, but I would like to say that the United Nations General Assembly voted on Thursday on a draft resolution that demands an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire in the war in Gaza. The 193-member General Assembly is likely to adopt that text, which demands the release of hostages held by Hamas and the return of Palestinian prisoners detained by Israel and the full withdrawal of Israeli occupation forces from Gaza. The resolution demands unhindered aid access and strongly condemns the use of starvation of civilians as a method of warfare and the unlawful denial of humanitarian access and depriving civilians of objects indispensable to their survival. Also, a Thursday vote comes ahead of a UN conference next week that aims to reinvigorate an international push for the two-state solution. Last week, the US vetoed a draft UN Security Council resolution that demanded an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire and unhindered aid access in Gaza, while the other 14 countries on the Council voted in favor of the draft. Dear viewers, now the session is on air on RTV International. Resuming our topic today, and I'm sorry for interruption, and resuming about Haya Karima, or Decent Life, and the significance of this initiative.
Of course, as we said, that the two first steps of Haya Karima, or Decent Life initiative, firstly by the constitution articles, and secondly by the initiative declared by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and the third step is construction of the institution of Haya Karima as an organization liable for the activities of this initiative, and how to put the strategy of performing this initiative, enlarging the space of benefits can be gained from this initiative.
Well, also, Doctor, this initiative aims at improving the lives of citizens in the different fields of life, and of course, on the top of the list is the health sector. And the state is indeed is exerting huge efforts in the field of healthcare. We witnessed recently that there were many awareness campaigns that aim at detecting some diseases, like prevalent diseases like hepatitis C, and also Egypt managed to confront and end the list of hepatitis C, and the whole World Health Organization has hailed Egypt for this achievement. I would like also, Doctor, to know more from you about Decent Life initiative. How has it contributed in advancing and in boosting the health sector in Egypt?
Haya Karima initiative, or Decent Life, was as I can say, the crown that at least appeared after all the efforts of the Egyptian government in this field. I think it was firstly began with, as you said, the initiative of combating the hepatitis, and of course it was a journey of about 2 years for declaring the Ministry of Health that we have now Egypt clear from hepatitis. Yes. And of course in the second stage, how the Ministry of Health combating the problems and confronting the COVID-19 pandemic, and of course it was current with declaring this initiative. Thirdly, there was a great initiative of 100 million صحة or 100 million صحة. Yes. For all the citizens of Egypt, and it began to cover all the governorates of the country. And after that, by declaring the initiative of Haya Karima, it was really a continuing series of these initiatives, and of course
like initiatives for detecting, for example,
cancers or something.
Yes, breast tumors for women. Yes, and also diabetes.
Yes. So Haya Karima give a new direction for these efforts or these initiatives to be invested in a new field, as you said, like early discovering of this cancer or these diseases. And of course, on the other side, it's continuing the previous initiatives for health field.
Great. Also, if we talk about the field of education, also the state has managed to build new schools and provide students with school books and also uniforms. And the state also established, as we said, the new schools and renovated the existing ones. Also, Doctor, I would like to know more from you. How has this initiative contributed in advancing the field of education here in Egypt?
It was declared that one of the main goals of Haya Karima initiative or Decent Life to rebuild the Egyptian people or rebuild the Egyptian person. And of course education or combating illiteracy was one of these main goals. So focusing on the presence position of schools, pupils, schedules of education, and of course the infrastructure of these institutions was a great space in Haya Karima initiative or Decent Life, beginning from the reforming or rebuilding of these schools or constructing new schools, as you said. Of course, it
even in rural areas,
rural and countryside,
rural
of course,
areas and remote regions in Egypt and Upper Egypt.
Yes, enlarging the present schools, giving it more services, and of course one of the significant footprints of this initiative, that unification of the eye footprint of these buildings, that you can, without reading the label of the school or the name of the school, you can just take a look of this building and you know it's one of these schools, and it's one of these schools that was reformed or rebuilt by Haya Karima initiative. Of course, on the other side, as you said, new uniforms and new schedule was also presented by Haya Karima initiative, and this reflects that it's not a way of reforming or amending the buildings, but it mainly focusing on the people.
Great. Also, Doctor, women are part and parcel of the society. They have always been making history in the different fields of life, and the state is always supporting, backing women also in the different fields. So how has this initiative also contributed in promoting the gender equality of women?
The gender equality of women here in Egypt was a very great journey cut by many people, civil society, maybe private sector, even the governmental sector. But I think Haya Karima, or Decent Life, gave this gender equality a new vision, not only to permitting more rights or freedoms for women, or to be equal with men in many positions. This already was mentioned in the constitution, and the Egyptian government was performing this already. But I think the great contribution of this initiative is that the participation of the women in the activities of this initiative. Of course, the Egyptian women participated socially and politically a lot since 2011 revolution, 2013 revolution, and of course its long participation in many elections and referendums. And of course the initiative of Haya Karima, or Decent Life, was one of the results of one of the gained results of this initiative, or this long journey of the participation of Egyptian women.
Great. Also, the young people, the youth, also recently the state is paying great attention to youth, and they are also occupying higher positions in the state. Doctor, how do you see the role of youth and young people in Decent Life initiative, and also how has it contributed in promoting youth and young people?
Haya Karima initiative, or Decent Life, was firstly declared through many conferences held by the Egyptian presidency since the beginning of the era of our President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi since 2015. And of course, after 2 or 3 versions of these presidential conferences, it was declared that we will have an initiative called Haya Karima, or Decent Life. And of course, after these conferences of the presidency, with a very large participation from young people or youth, even here in Egypt or from outside Egypt, African, Arabian, even European and international youths, this gave this initiative a new vision, or a new version that was obtained and understood by many countries, very inspiring for many Arab and African countries. And as you said, it was declared or maintained by the United Nations as a very significant and pioneer initiative, was held by Egypt. So when this initiative was declared in 2019 by the ceremony of its opening, attended by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, many participation from youth was there. The public figures and actors and presenters of the private sector of civil society was also from young people, and this reflects how these youth conferences of the President Fattah al-Sisi was introducing for this initiative and encouraging it.
Great. Also, talking about tourism. Tourism is one of the main sources of national income, and in Egypt there are many tourist landmarks and destinations that dazzled and still dazzling the entire world. We have also different sources of tourism: religious tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism. How far has Decent Life initiative contributed in reviving tourism, especially in Upper Egypt, in, for example, Luxor and Aswan?
Yes. Of course, Haya Karima, or Decent Life, firstly was initiated as an economic strategy or an economic initiative to enhancing the life of Egyptian people. And of course, one of the main economic fields here in Egypt that the Egyptian economy depends on is tourism, beside agriculture, beside industry, and of course trade and commercial activities. Especially tourism was a very significant part of this, because it obtained a very large scale of youth participation, and as we said, youth was one of the main sectors that this initiative depends on. The second point was covering all the governorates of Egypt by this initiative must attach to many touristic activities or touristic positions, or give new vacancies or opportunities for people to participate in this field. Of course, as concerning the infrastructure and the development of these regions, of course, the touristic places or the touristic monuments must have a part of this development, and of course this will serve the activity of tourism in Egypt.
Great. Also, Ministry of Communications and Information Technology also plays a very great role in Decent Life initiative by organizing events, activities, workshops in order to integrate digital technology. I would like also, Doctor, to know more from you how first, what is the definition of digital Decent Life initiative, and also the efforts exerted by the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology in that regard?
Firstly, we must mention that the Egyptian constitution issued in 2014 mentioned two main points. That the Egyptian country binded itself to erase any digital illiteracy. And this was a new idea or a new concept that the Egyptian country began with in this constitution.
Yes, also training workshops are held for employees in the different ministries.
On the second side, we can say that maintaining the digital security or electronic space security was one also of the activities of the Egyptian government. In a later step, when we declared the initiative of digitalizing Egypt, or with all the services of the Egyptian government, this of course needs a very big effort from Ministry of Communication. And on the other hand, the collaboration or the relation between Hayat Karima initiative or Decent Life with the 2030 Sustainable Development Strategy of Egypt, they must meet in this point of digitalizing all services, or the new digitalized Egypt with all the services of the government.
Spreading the culture of digitalization.
Beginning from all services, either health or education, or maybe dealing with the government institutions, having your documents, send messages, or have some services, even complain. All these services nowadays can be done digitally, and the Egyptian government is keen to serve this performance or these services in a better way in the digital side, and maintaining the security or cyber security of these services.
Great. Doctor, we will resume our discussion, but allow me to go to a short break, and then we will be back. So dear viewers, a short break and we will be back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, our dear viewers, and still with our dear guest, Dr. Moataz Abu Zeid, Professor of Law, and continuing our discussion, Doctor, about Decent Life initiative. Also, the state is paying special attention and great attention to people with special needs. We saw and we witnessed many celebrations, like differently abled celebration, that pays attention to people with special needs. How has this initiative also contributed to improving their lives?
One of the main goals of Decent Life or Hayat Karima initiative was maintaining the social solidarity, and of course one of the main activities of this social solidarity is concerning or paying attention for people with special needs. I think since 2017 it was a very concern for the Egyptian presidency, of course, by declaring 2017 or 2018 the year of people with special special needs, and of course it was very significant and remarkable how many efforts was presented for this category, and of course the large participation of these people in many activities like new jobs or new fields of education. And of course this was very welcomed by the Egyptian government, and it was a great gate or a great beginning for the initiative of Hayya Karima for these people, or just to take a look for this field to be included in the contributions of Hayya Karima initiatives.
Well, I will take, Doctor, from your words, and I would like to ask you about how far this initiative has offered job opportunities. Of course, we know that also the state is organizing many training workshops for youth in order to enhance their talents and skills. And also recently there was a forum held at Cairo Stadium in order to provide such 6,000 job opportunities for youth in the different fields of life like medicine, trade. So how far has this initiative contributed to offering and providing job opportunities for youth?
Of course, this is a very good point, and this reminds me by a very special concept that I admired a lot when it talked about Hayya Karima or decent life, as it concerning the multi-dimensioned poverty. And of course this concept opened a discussion about what is multi-dimension poverty. Of course we are knowing that poverty economic wise, that a very weak income, a very weak services or something like this. But according to the vision of Hayya Karima or Decent Life initiative, multi-dimension poverty may include the poverty of awareness, the poverty of information, the poverty of skills, the poverty of social relations, or the poverty of digital information. All this can be considered nowadays as a kind of poverty. So concerning the building of the abilities of these categories, training of youth, and of course one of these great contributions is the National Academy for Training, and of course it was one of the very strongest arms of the Egyptian government in the field of training, and of course giving new opportunities for youth and training for the present position for these people in maybe public or private sector. Of course this will give a new reflection of the efforts of this initiative, and of course this will maintain or perform the concept, as I said, of multi-dimensioned poverty.
Great. Also, Doctor, private sector plays a great and significant role in confronting many challenges, and there is cooperation between the state and the private sector in the different fields. How do you see the coordination between the state and private sector and its role in enhancing this initiative?
Of course, the coordination and the cooperation between the Egyptian government and the private sector was a must to encourage this initiative or to make it successful. The private sector, of course, had very directed or a very direct link with the people. They are working on earth. They can cover many fields or many activities that cannot be covered or may not be discovered by the Egyptian government. And of course, on the other hand, the Egyptian government has a very strong entity of information, many facilities that can be presented, many aids or many encouragement can be given in this initiative. So according to this balance relation, of course the collaboration was a must, and it was clear in the declaration of the initiative of Decent Life in 2019, the great participation for many businessmen or many great brands or projects for private sector in this initiative, not for just harmony with the Egyptian government, but on really believe in this initiative and its importance.
Great. Also, the state is paying great attention to the elderly by offering health insurance and also pensions and treatments and services. How far also this initiative has contributed to improving the lives of the elderly in Egypt?
Of course, this also another side of social solidarity, as we said. Seniors here in Egypt for years, maybe, or decades, really suffered from a lack of decent life in many services and many activities they can participate, or they can gain after a long life serving the country, maybe, or a long life having many activities in the Egyptian government. So this promotion of these services or concerning these people, I think it's like a reward that we can give them at this age. And of course, it was a very significant part of the initiatives that must be covered and must be known for everyone, that it's not an initiative to participate if you are one of the young people or the youth participating in this initiative, but of course also when you are a senior or an elderly people, so you can gain the result or the efforts of this initiative.
Great. Also, as we know, Doctor, the state is paying great attention to the local industry, and it is keen on presenting, providing the best services and the high quality in order to boost the local industry. How far has this initiative or its role in reviving and in boosting the local industry here in Egypt?
We must say that one of the main challenges of the Egyptian government after the new republic in 2014 was how to upgrade the economic position of Egypt, and by encouraging a new economic activity or rebuild or reform for the current economic activities in Egypt. On the other hand, Haya Karima or Decent Life Initiative was declared firstly, as we said, as an economic strategy to enhance life of Egyptian people. Of course, these two concepts must meet and must give a new result, that Haya Karima was one of the pushing pillars of the Egyptian economy. Of course, it was one of the main activities or the main fields that the Egyptian government wanted to make successful steps or wanted to make new visions in this sector, and of course Haya Karima was one of the successful results of the efforts of the Egyptian government in this field.
Great. Also, Doctor, the state is keen on enhancing and boosting the agriculture here in Egypt, and indeed the state is also paying great attention to villagers and farmers, and by offering services and building centers. So how far also this initiative has contributed to or in improving the lives of farmers in Upper Egypt?
This really was built upon many bases. The first one, we are an agriculture country. Of course, mainly our economic activity depends with a great space on the agriculture field. The second point, Haya Karima was one of the initiatives, or Decent Life was one of the initiatives, depends on enhancing the infrastructure of many villages or many urban places or many countryside in Egypt, and it was divided into stages. Every stage can cover some of the governorates of Egypt. So of course, one of the main fields that can covered by the services of this initiative was agriculture, not only to serve a new infrastructure for this countryside or this agriculture land, but of course, as you said, the positions of farmers and villagers, encouraging them with facilitating their activities or giving some financial aids or economic incentives for this, of course, new projects, and of course this was clear in the new amended lands in the desert here in Egypt, and of course the new upgraded scale for exporting some crops from the Egyptian reformed agriculture land. So Haya Karima or Decent Life was keen to give farmers or villagers or people working in the agriculture sector new vision of services, new vision of participation, and of course new incentives for this field.
Great. If we talk, Doctor, about how far this initiative align with Egypt vision and 2030 and Egypt national strategy and agenda, and its role in achieving sustainable development and its role in achieving a flourishing future for the younger generation.
Of course, this initiative or Haya Karima or Decent Life cannot be discussed or cannot be mentioned isolated from the 2030 strategy of sustainable development here in Egypt. Both of them is a new concept or a new vision for Egypt about human rights, and so they must have many links together. We cannot achieve any progress in the 2030 strategy for sustainable development unless we make this initiative real or to be performed in the right way for Egyptian people. And on the other side, we cannot achieve a successful initiative like Haya Karima unless we have good efforts or new steps in the 2030 strategy for sustainable development. So they are very related together, and of course the result of this strategy and the result of this initiative was really to be completed by each other and supported by each other, so cannot be isolated or separated. They are both one path and one result.
Great. In just 1 minute, because our time has come to an end, unfortunately, how is the state guaranteeing the success of this initiative?
I think, as we said before, Haya Karima was not an initiative that was declared with a certain ceremony in 2019. It is supported by great efforts from the Egyptian government. It's supported by mainly the follow-up and the continuous follow-up of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Of course, maintaining an institution as Haya Karima, an institution to make feedback or to follow up these projects and what success they can achieve in this project. I think these 3 points may always put this initiative or Haya Karima or Decent Life initiative under the eye of the Egyptian government to be followed and to be encouraged and to be performed in a right way.
Great. Dr. Moataz Abu Zeid, Professor of Law, I would like to thank you so much for coming today and for your insight, always a dear guest on Windows on Nile TV International. Thank you so much, Doctor.
You are welcome, Ms. Basma. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And dear viewers, by that we come to the end of this edition of Windows. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more on Nile TV International.